Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Rollwise Show, the place where we talk about and play games. Today, we're going to be jumping into a new game. We're going to be playing a game called Death in Space. For those of you that don't know what Death in Space is, it is a sci-fi tabletop RPG published by Free League Publishing, one of our, well, at least one of my favorite publishers that I've for the last few years. You may know them, of course, from games that we've just played, like Free League's Forbidden Lands. I should say Forbidden Lands. I meant to say that instead. They've also done Morkborg, Coriolis, Alien. I mean, the number of games that they've put out is a lot at this point, so they're pretty well known from my perspective. But Death in Space was written by Christian Plogfors and Carls Niblaeus. And right from the jump, it kind of tells you exactly what kind of game it is. It's grimy, blue collar, and set in a universe that at least it implies that it's actively dying. The main setting, of course, is going to be in the Tenebris system, and it's a star system that's still reeling from an incident or from a period of history called the Gem War, which was a resource conflict that ended just a little bit before the time that you are playing. Of course, you could have all this stuff take place at whatever timeline you want, whether you want to be part of the Gem War, whether you want to be farther away from it. It's kind of up to you. But everything after the Gem War was left basically broken. The corporations that fought for this really important resource spent themselves into ruin. Somebody eventually claimed themselves to be a victor, but in the meantime, things that kind of held everything up collapsed to some degree. Nothing new was really manufactured anymore. A lot of that technology and those resources were expended. Everything is kind of recycled, repurposed, and slowly falling apart. So the setting really gives you a vibe of that kind of like you're in space, but everything's kind of gritty and nothing's really that clean iPhone anymore. It's more that kind of cassette futurism feel, at least from what I was reading. Um, Layered
Well, I
on
mean,
top
it's
of that,
spaceships, so it's not really cassette futurism. It's more just degrading
well, it
science
is.
fiction.
I've just heard cassette futurism kind of used as the way
It's,
that
I guess, it's more like Alien
analog.
than
Yeah, it's like how Alien is. A lot more things are analog rather than digital. Like think less touch screens, think more dials and switches and all those kind of things. But in addition to all this failing technology, the universe is also collapsing, as I had mentioned. And behind that collapse is the void, kind of this corrupting presence that whispers through the static of ship electronics, especially the farther you get from known space. Some people hear words in it. There are the cults that worship it. And if you fail enough rolls, which we'll talk about as we start getting into the game itself, it starts getting to you. Now, mechanically, it is a simple D20 roll high system. You roll at a relevant ability score, which ranges from -3 to +3, and you try to hit a target number of 12. And that's the baseline. Very clean, very fast. It's also very lethal. And of course, the character creation, which we're going to be doing today, as well as your hub, is randomized as much as you'd like. Of course, the tables and everything like that are choose or roll kind of tables. So you can kind of pick and choose what you like out of it if there's something you're particularly drawn to. But ultimately, no matter who you end up being, you're going to be facing the pressure of trying to keep yourselves afloat in this dying universe. So I think I'm excited to see how these characters go, because I know that when I rolled up some characters, it was fast, it was easy, which also tends to make me think that the game is probably going to kill somebody pretty quickly. I don't know about that. It seems to be our experience with quick characters. But are you guys ready?
Huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sweet. So Death in Space, there are character generators and everything like that you can find online, but you can also go to the Death in Space resources on Free League's website, and there are downloads of character sheets, hubs, and everything like that. And we're just going to use the form fillable PDFs to go through it, because as Brent had mentioned earlier, that the actual pre-generated character sheets that you can get are literally just the push of a button, right? I mean, you just push a button and it just like spits somebody out for you. Like that was that quick. It didn't have anything that it just did all the randomizing for you, kind of thing. Is that what it was, Brent?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a character generator. You click a button and it does. I mean, they're just tables. The game is basically 6 steps where you roll on tables, so it just does the rolls for you.
Okay. So the first thing that you guys have is the way that it generates abilities is going to be you're going to roll 2d4. One is going to be your first die, and the second one is going to be what you minus from the first die. And so the values, this is where you get that range of -3 to +3. So it is okay for your number to go negative. So if you roll a 1 and get a 1 on the first die and a 4 on the second die, right out of the gate, a -3.
But you
Now,
do get a character bonus if you have more negatives than positives. Is that right?
yep. So there is a character bonus at the end, so that if you do have particularly challenging rolls, you get a bonus for it. And now that's up to you to decide if that bonus is worth it. But I thought they were kind of interesting stuff. Now in the game, there are 4 ability traits, and these are going to do a lot of heavy lifting. There are no skills, and so your body, which is your strength and physical resistance, will count for your melee attacks as well. Dexterity will be your reflexes, poise, and speed. Your savvy will be your perception, intuition, psychological resistance, and piloting spacecraft. And your tech is going to be understanding and operating technology as well as ranged attacks. I thought that was an interesting combination to have tech be ranged attacks as well, but yeah. So, what do you guys have for your stats down the line? Did you guys get positive? Did you guys
Well,
get negative?
I rolled. I don't think Jeff has yet, but I rolled
Yeah, I haven't rolled yet.
3 and 2, a 2 and 1, a 4 and 4, and a 2 and 1. So I have
Okay.
3 + 1s and 1 0. So I
Oh,
rolled
nice.
pretty good considering.
Nice.
So I have a -1 in my first one then. Am I doing that
-1
right?
strength right away.
Yup.
-2 in dexterity.
Perfect.
Remember what you said about that special rule thing?
Well, we're going to find out if it's worth it for Jeff in just a moment.
A 0 in savvy.
You know, that's a little bit of a kick. You know, you roll 2 4s and that ends up knocking each other out. Boom.
And a -1 in tech.
So you're the exact opposite of my character. Pretty much.
All right. Yeah. Well, that works. So in this game, also when you're lining up your stats, you just roll them stat by stat. So it is technically 2d4 down the line, one could say. So now we know kind of where Jeff and Brent are starting. Now, the game uses a origins type deal, and origins are like could kind of determine if you're part of a different species, different belief systems. It's really since it's very vague, it's kind of up to the player to determine how the origin is going to come into play. And the origins are going to be either chosen or you roll a d6 to pick one.
I rolled a d6.
Okay.
Guess I got carbon if I'm going left to right. If I went right to left, I'd be punk. But I think we'll just go carbon.
I mean, they're numbered.
Yeah, they are numbered. If you got a 5, you got punk.
Oh, they're not numbered on my sheet.
Oh.
Oh, no. They're numbered in the book.
Yeah,
okay.
So actually, if you rolled a 5, you rolled Velocity Cursed. Now, Velocity Cursed is kind of interesting. The description
weird,
is
it's in the 6th place on the sheet. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be Velocity Cursed. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
well, a Velocity Cursed is someone who's ill-fated that has started to lose their connection to reality. They shift and flicker in and out of space-time, and they have glitching faces. Now, just to kind of continue with you, Jeff, when you have your origin, there are 2 stated benefits within the origin. Now, for the Velocity Cursed, it's future memory, which is you've already been here. Once per session, ask the referee for directions. Or it's Pocket World. You start with a portable non-phys server housing a virtual reality where you store memories to connect the past and future of your life. Up to 10 users can connect simultaneously. Now, you pick one of those 2 benefits for your origin. And while Jeff is doing that, Brent, what about you? What did you roll for your origin?
I rolled a couple times because I rolled a 5 3 times, which also would have made me velocity cursed. So I re-rolled it one last time, and I rolled a 6, which makes me gives me the void. What are they called? Origin. Which the void origin is robed and nihility. Shamans hidden behind masks, speaking through synthetic voice scramblers. They had seen visions of the edge of the universe.
Okay.
And I picked, they have Voice of the Void, which is you can make nearby electronics emit static and crackling whispers, or masked. You have a mask that you can reshape during the rest into the resemblance of another face or mask. At a distance, it fools most. I picked Voice of the Void.
I'm going to go with Future Memory, Mike. Pocket World sounds like it could be interesting, but it feels more campaign-oriented.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm going to go with Future Memory, since we're probably only playing, well, with my character, since it feels like I can't even operate a mop at this point.
You can, well, you've just not great.
You've operated the mop already. That's the problem. You're kind of disassembling, temporarily. It's hard, man. All right. Number 3, you have character details. Now, within character details, you're determining background, trait, drive, and looks. And now, again, you roll for each of these, but instead they are D20 for each of these ones here. So does somebody want to roll 40-20 and let me know what you got?
I'm going to roll mine all separate just to upset you.
Oh, thanks.
I got a 13 for background.
Okay. So 13 background means you're an isotope coder. Now, there are no additional details as to what an isotope coder is, so it's kind of up to you as to decide how that
Well, obviously,
plays
Mike, I code isotopes. I mean...
It's true. Brent is going to go with the... What did you roll, a 6?
I rolled a 6. It's an interstellar soldier.
Ooh, you're a soldier. I wonder if you're a soldier turned cultist or you're a soldier of the cult. We'll find out.
Hey, for trait, I rolled a 7.
Okay. So for 7, that is proud.
Okay.
And for Brent, you rolled a 16. That is rough. And these are...
Trait? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
For drive, I rolled an 11.
Your drive is for free will. That makes a perfect partner with a cultist.
Void doesn't necessarily
it does not.
Cultist. That's not what Void says. It doesn't say it's a cultist. It says they're kind of a creepy shaman. I don't consider it.
That's true. That's true. All right.
And for looks, I got a 1. So this is either going to be fantastic or horrific. So let's go.
And for you, Brent, your drive is a place.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of up to you. And then for your looks, you have flamboyant robes and reflective materials, Jeff, and Brent is 12.
Robotic
robot. Neat.
I heard erotic, but you said robotic, right?
Yeah. That's a different game, Jeff. A very different game.
Okay, I got flamboyant robes and what?
You got flamboyant robes and reflective materials.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of other games, it's just enough to give you some.
I'm just going to blind everybody. I already flicker in and out of existence, and then my flamboyant robes with reflective materials are just going to blind people as they flash in and out.
It's true though, but it's interesting. Like somehow you guys managed to get some traits that link to each other. Like I could easily see, Brent's having a
we're definitely two weirdos hanging out together.
That's true. So now that we're done with those items to kind of get your kind of your looks, your background, and all that done. You get to do something that is your past allegiance. Now, this is something that I found was kind of an interesting idea, is that you roll a d6 and your past allegiance is something that you still kind of, it's like some baggage you still carry on your character, because it decides who was your allegiance to during the Gem War. So the easiest way it makes me think about it is that remember Mal from Firefly? Like, this very much feels like, how he was even after the war ended, he was still a brown coat. Like, the same principle it feels. So, but for this, Brent is your allegiance was to the
contract.
Yeah.
I swore allegiance to those who paid the most.
Fair enough.
Is the contract literally a contract, or is it some faction with a?
It's literally it's who paid the most.
It's the money. Okay.
Yeah. So I probably was on the winning side.
No, the losers pay for mercenaries too.
I was probably on the winning side since you were. And I figured we fought together in the war potentially.
What was my 3? Sorry, I was talking.
The winning side.
Your 3 was the winning side, literally.
Oh, I was literally the winning side. Brent was literally telling me. Okay. Sweet. Okay, I'm totally into this right now. Let's go.
And remember what I said is that one of the corps declared victory, but I mean, kind of rang hollow, since it was like almost mutually
everything
assured.
Was destroyed.
Yeah, everything was destroyed, so it's kind of
winning is winning, man.
It is. So now the next part is you start with 1d8 maximum hit points, and when you rest, you recover 1d8 plus body hit points. Now, for this, because it's just the two of you, and I expect the game to have some lethality, Brent already started off with a great roll of an 8. I'm going to give you both 8 hit points, just to kind of.
Hey,
oh wow!
You're not giving me anything. I fucking earned that.
Death in Space loves me, apparently.
I did. Well, Brent, every time we roll max hit points, it just means we take max damage.
Well, I've rolled well on everything, which is weird for me.
Well, so basically, I just wanted to make sure, if there was a chance for you to,
No, I appreciate
like the first time you see something, you don't just, explode.
So I start with 1d8, right? And you're giving me 8, which is great. But my recovery is 1d8 plus my body, so it's 1d8 minus 1.
So even if you have max, you still have a detriment.
Yeah. So there's a chance that when you
when I recover, I don't know how recovery works, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it's when you rest. Basically, it's saying if you're not at max body, then you would roll 1d8, and so you could actually be in a.
You'll never get your hit points back without more than one roll, because even if you roll max, you'll roll.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take at least 2 days for you to recover all your hit points every time.
Oh, and even better, my defense rating is 12 plus my dex. My dex is minus 2, so my defense rating is a 10. Am I doing that right, Mike?
Correct. Yeah,
that's only if you don't have armor.
Yeah, and you could have armor. I mean, your reflective robes could be very tough.
I don't think that his reflective robes don't actually count as equipment. I mean, armor is literally armor. He can.
I know. Shh, Brent. I'm just trying to make him feel better.
I would rather he not think. I would rather he not think his fancy robes stop bullets. Thank you.
This is just one of those, like, he gets shot and he's like, but the GM said, and they're like, what's a GM?
Yeah.
All right. So those are some of your derived stats right there. Now, this is where the game gets into your starting gear and starting bonus. Now, so the hollows are going to be the most.
I just read what the starting bonuses is for negative ability scores. Don't fucking roll a 1.
No, roll a 1, please.
Because that's absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever read, for having -1 in all your shit.
That's not true.
I don't have minus in all my stuff. I have a 0 in savvy. -1, -2, 0, -1.
If the sum of your ability scores is negative, roll 1d6 for a starting bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
three minuses. 3 minuses.
No, not yet. That'll be last for you, buddy. We got to get to the end, and then you get to roll that on your own, so we can see if we get a random
I skipped
something.
ahead a little bit. Sorry.
That's okay.
So the first thing you need are hollows. So this is the driving force of the economy is hollows. Now, admittedly, there are ship components and other things that you can do to trade and barter and those kinds of things, because obviously, if somebody's broken down and they need some ship, some pieces for their ship, they may find that to be more.
Hollows are your space bucks.
They are your space bucks, and you start with 3d10 of them, so you don't start with a lot. Truth be told,
I rolled a 4, 1, and 7, so 12 total.
I have 19.
Good job.
Yep. So perfect. Between the two of you, you might be able to get some drinks before you run out of fuel. You have item slots, which item slots are going to be 12 plus your body, and that's the number of items you can carry without negative modification. Normal items take 1 slot. Small items do not typically require any slots. However, if there is something that is considered unwieldy, I think there are some examples in the first table when you get there. And it's like, for example, a planetary cooking kit takes 3 slots, which I assume is like a large backpack thing or something.
Why would I ever cook a planet?
On your character sheet, is that just the 1 through 15?
Yeah.
Personal belongings? Is that what that is?
Yeah. That was the one thing that I thought was interesting about how they did the default Death in Space character sheet, is that it didn't really seems to believe that you could have a maximum of 15 slots, because you could have a maximum of 3 body, right?
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
It just gave you 15 spaces, but then when something takes up multiple spaces, there's not an easy way for you to denote that on the sheet. So FYI for anybody else using the sheet, that's a thing. All right. So now for your starting gear, you do get a pack, basically, and the pack is a D6.
And I rolled a 6.
Okay. So Jeff got the Explorer pack, which is emergency food rations for a week, a light EVA suit, 5 military-grade light sticks.
Do each of these things count as a slot?
I'll have
or
to
does
double
the
check on the
pack
rations.
itself count as a slot?
Well, the pack, so each of the things could count as a slot depending on what they are. Like the military-grade light sticks, those are small, so I don't think they would count as a slot personally. However, an EVA is not it's something you'd wear, not something you typically haul around. Oh, wow. And you got mercenary.
Perfect.
Oh, Brent, your character came together rather well with your die
synchronicity.
Rolls, which would give you a uniform, a planetary parachute, a proximity alarm, which needs batteries, okay, and a flashlight model,
which doesn't need batteries.
Which doesn't. You might be able to swap them between each other. At night, you either get a proximity alarm or a flashlight, Brent. Sorry. All right. And now we can go to your starting bonus. So roll a d6 for us, Jeff, and tell us what you got.
Oh, 2.
Oh, good. You didn't roll 1.
You got +3 starting hit points. Man.
By the way, 1 is
and
random
so is that my
cosmetic.
max?
Cosmic mutation. That's not too bad, I guess. I was wrong.
Well, it could be good.
Yeah, you had 3 hit points to your max. Yeah.
Okay. So I go to 11.
I thought it said cosmetic when I first read it.
Oh, no.
Been bad.
No, you can get things like telekinesis and telepathy and
cosmic is better.
My cosmetic mutation was I have a great tan.
Yeah, that's what I was worried that it was going to be.
Well, I mean,
you look good when shot.
you have a good face for getting shot in.
My face looks good in any light.
Punchable face. That's your cosmetic mutation.
That would be pretty good. All right. And so on our last thing that we do, we get a personal trinket, and that's what's going to round out your character. And then we'll just kind of summarize what we rolled. I think what we'll do is we'll have you guys think about your characters for next Monday when we actually go ahead and play our scenario here, and then you can use kind of like summarize what they coalesced into from your disparate things. So Brent, 19, you got a belt buckle with a hidden star compass.
Jeff got the 19, not me.
No, I got a 9.
You got a 19.
Oh no, the 2 was from my roll before. 19. What did I get?
Yeah, you got a hidden star compass. It only works sometimes. You don't know why. Fair enough.
Is there a spot to write these down on, the trinkets? I guess it's a personal item, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can write it small items, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And for you, Brent, so you for Jeff, you got shades, dirty and scratched after an old job. The future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Dirty and scratched. Not one or the other, both.
They're both. They're the kind of shades that you always look over, you know. And the cool part is that's it. And that's all that it takes to get to your Death in Space character creation if you go the long way. Now, obviously, as we had said, you can just press a button and be done in 3 seconds. But this at least gives you an idea as to
that's really not all the character creation, because you have to do the hub creation too, though.
Yeah, we still have to do the hub, but we still have to come up with arms and armor and that kind of stuff, right? And their belongings.
No, we have our belongings. That's what the pack is.
Okay.
That's what your starting kit is.
Yeah, you gotta work your way up to arms and armor. You either have to scavenge it or you gotta buy it from selling scavenge and all that stuff. So, all right. Now, for the hub creation is, I think, just as quick. There are really only 4 steps to hub creation. And depending on the type of campaign, they do suggest that if you want to have a campaign that's focused on social interaction and intrigue, maybe you want to be part of a moon colony or part of the Iron Ring itself, which is a fairly noteworthy site within the Tenebris system. You can basically have a small base, which could be either attached to the Iron Ring or on a moon or something like that. Or if you want to have more of like an exploration-based game, they suggest that you use a spacecraft. And so that allows you to kind of get around the galaxy. Now, keep in mind, they purposely left this game fairly open. Now, there is technology to go between solar systems. There's something called Bridger Craft, which basically people work to get a lottery onto and just kind of leave. They leave the Tenebris system and go other places. So it's not exactly something that everyone can necessarily do. But I mean, really, from a gaming perspective, it leaves it open to be pretty much anywhere in the cosmos and have whatever universe, star system setup that you kind of want to do. So once you have your decision, and we decided to go with a spacecraft as a hub, just because we thought we'd do a little bit more explory type scenario, however long we last, I guess. So first things first is that once you have your starting hub, you have your frame statistics and everything like that. Now, the frame statistics is pretty much going to be your defense rating. And this is how you're going to avoid critical damage when you have some sort of space combat. Because as you may guess, since there's not really like an overarching governmental organization or anything like that, pretty much it's like the Wild West. There's, somebody wants to take your stuff, they come and beat you up over it. And that can involve some sort of space combat or something along those lines. So for your spacecraft itself, your DR is going to be 11 and your max condition is going to be 5.
Where's the hub sheet?
I put it in our chat that we had. It's the second one.
So the defense rating is 11 and our max condition is 5.
Mm-hmm. And then also you have a fuel capacity of 6.
6. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice the defense rating is in the middle on the right side, and then your condition and fuel and everything like that is...
yeah, I saw them once I got the sheet open.
Yep.
Frame integrity sounds important.
It kind of is. I'm sure that as you click down those checkboxes and everything like that, that creates a lot of stress.
Power source, output power.
Yep. So now step 2 is determining your power source and output power. For Spacecraft, you have a standard chemical engine, which is pretty much slow. And what that means is that when you're traveling, through the cosmos, it's obviously not very fast, but there are rules for travel within systems as to how long things take when going from point A to point B. And so that determines how quickly you get there. And we'll
Are
talk
you
about
putting
that
this
more.
in the sheet, Jeff, or do you want me to put it in the sheet?
I'm putting it in one.
Okay.
I can send it to you. So
yeah, that's cool. I just didn't think we needed to double up per se. So
you're probably right. All right. So we got a standard chemical engine.
Mm-hmm. And you have an output power of 3.
Output power of 3. That doesn't sound very powerful.
It's not. So the output power is basically, it's your limiting factor for how many modules the hub can support. Now, core functions do not cost output power, but each additional module has a power cost. So the sum of all your power costs for all modules must always be less than or equal to your hub's total output power. And so if you find that you want to add a module to your spaceship that you don't have the output power for, you need to find a better power source to improve that.
Okay.
Right? So I think for this, we're just going to start you with the basic, like areas that you would have within your ship. And what that means
we can only have 3 unless we have to turn one off completely to use another.
Well, that's kind of true, I guess. And we'll talk about the core modules and like what that is in just a moment.
How long can we turn off life support when we sleep, Brent?
No,
forever, really.
That one probably needs to stay off.
An hour? Time.
That is probably not in the rotation of stuff that we're shutting off.
So now for the more interesting part. So your actual background, your spaceship has a background. So this obviously wasn't a brand new spaceship manufactured by someone and given to you or purchased at the dealership. So I need one of you to roll a D20 and we can decide what's the provenance of your spaceship.
You've been rolling good, Brent.
All roll background? Okay.
Yeah, since I'm filling out the sheet.
Okay.
I don't care. Just kidding.
Well, there's two tables we have to roll on. So 2 unknown, no serial numbers, a fragmented log hidden deep in the computer system.
Okay. So nobody really knows where this came from. I'm almost curious as to where you guys got it. Won it in a poker game? Just found it when you were on the Iron Ring?
Probably found it just adrift.
Unknown, no serial numbers.
All right. So that's your background. Now you get what's called a quirk. Now now each hub has something about it that's just a little bit strange or annoying. Now it's another D20 here, and this is going to be your last step.
Do you want me
Life
to roll
support system cycles for 5 minutes every hour.
Or do you want to roll this one, Jeff?
Sure. Is this another D20?
Yeah. It is.
Sure. Let's go. A 6.
Oh my gosh. So you need to hit the controls in a certain way to start the engine or generator. So basically, I kind of imagine you have to go into it and like pound the dash. Kind of.
Wait, there's 2 background? There's 2 background?
One background is for the spacecraft and one background is for the station. So they did split the 2 background charts.
So need to hit the controls in a certain way to start the engine.
We have to Fonzie the engine.
Well, you did
After
find
we do it. Do we have to go? Ay?
That's up to you.
Just maybe do the fist bump.
Start the engines and what? There was something after that, wasn't there, Mike?
Engines or generator.
Yeah. Since the stations use generators, you use engines.
Okay. We use engines. Okay. To start the engines, we got to hit the controls in a certain way. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's not a ton with that in terms of the station creation or the creation and all that stuff. The nice thing is that really That's it. Now, your spaceship does have these core features. You have a command center, which is your bridge. That's where all your cables, wires, and all your crucial systems live. You have a crew quarters. They are pretty much bunks within the ship. I more imagine them to be those kind of. I think it was. What was that one where? Oh gosh, it wasn't the Abyss, but it was the one where they all turned into Leviathan. The bunks in that one kind of is what it reminds me of. Is that you kind of have like a space that you bunk and you
Submarine
have
bunks? Because Leviathan was in the ocean.
Yeah, same kind of principle. You're not getting your own like captain's suite or anything like that.
Right.
You do have a life support system for oxygen, heating, and water, and you also have a mess.
So we have 4 things.
Yep. So those are the 4 core functions. So all
So do those count as modules?
Nope.
No, those aren't modules. Where do I put those then? The command center, crew quarters, life support, and mess in appearance? What?
I put them when I did this. I put them in the modules. But I think that because they're the standard, most people would probably just know that they exist and what they're there for.
I guess there is notes. I'm just going to put them in notes for now, just since we've never played before.
Sure.
And take them out of modules.
And then if you really want to get into it, you can upload or draw your spaceship. Either way. Your spaceship of unknown provenance. And that's really that's it. That's what I thought was so surprising about this, because it is very fast to get your crew and everything like that set up. And now really it's up to you guys to decide some of the things that just determine why you're scavenging the universe together. Like, what do you mainly try to do? Like, what is your main type of work and all that kind of stuff. I feel like being a general all-purpose troubleshooter scavenger type seems to be a common way to eke by in this universe. But if you had some specific ideas, we can do that. And then next week we'll go ahead and get playing. But
okay,
that's it.
Hey, what's the appearance of our spaceship? We get to make that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. And there's no real. I mean, it doesn't. You can obviously use the artwork from the book to get inspiration from it and all that stuff, but there's not like a
shitbox an operative term.
You want to go with shitbox?
I mean,
Rust bucket.
I think that's the truth.
It looks like.
I mean, I think we just found this floating in space,
like
right?
Floating space salvage.
Well, what's funny is you guys found it in space, and one of you was like, "I think we get that thing to work." And then, however many credits you pumped into it later,
then we did.
And then you got it to work. It keeps you alive. You may have to bang the dash to get it to start, but you know what? For being a hunk of space junk, it serves just fine. I like it. So that's it. This is kind of a short episode as we prepare for our maybe a scenario, depending on how long the game goes. Starting next week. So if you guys want to see how the game is actually played, join us next week on Monday. No, Tuesday, because that's when we'll release the video. And of course, this week we'll also be throwing out a review of the Orpheus Protocol. So if those of you who haven't heard of the game, it's a game by a creator that Brent really, really likes, and we're going to give you all the details and our thoughts on our playthrough with a recent scenario that we did with our home table. So we look forward to sharing how that went. And of course, we're still continuing that game, maybe another scenario too, to see how it plays. But we'll let you know what our thoughts are so far. And that's it for me. Do you guys have any final notes to throw on the fire?
Nope. Sounds good.
No, I think we're good.
All right. So leave a comment. Tell us what you would like to see more of, et cetera, et cetera. Or if you've also made it this far into the video and I'd like to say we first of all appreciate it. But if you liked what you heard, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you can hear more of us down the line. So outside of YouTube, Jeff, where do they contact us?
You can find us on most social media. Search for @rollwise. You can also email us. We are rolewiseguys@gmail.com.
And as always, as Mike said, thank you for joining us. Roll well, roll wise, and be safe out there, everybody. Till next time.
Thanks.
Thanks.